Hey, and we are live. Hey, this is a little bit different backdrop, a little bit different soundtrack as well, man. We're at Wayne State Fieldhouse for the Motor City Cruise Grand Rapids Gold game right now. And we're live streaming about the Detroit Pistons, as well as the impact of the Motor City Cruise in this community as well, man. Shout out to Motor City Cruise PR dropping off the stat sheet right now. It's been a pretty decent game. I've heard a lot of Chaz in there. I've heard a lot of Bobby Clifford tonight. The Cruise do lead 33-23. But you guys are here as well for this Detroit Pistons first half review. It is your boy Brandon, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, credential Pistons reporter, writer for Woodward Sports Network. Had to link it with my guy Sean Murphy from Half Court. You guys remember the Table Talks used to go live. Shout out to all the different people that used to be on the Table Talks from some bevy of people, man. From Carl Collins, Global Lexi, King and Deuce. And I know I'm forgetting some people. Shout out to Ashley Trent, who was in the beginning. Shout out to Jeff Fire Freddy, Rod Beard, among others who have had a lot to do with this platform and where we are today, man. And definitely a thank you to Pistons PR and the professional relationship we've been able to have over the last 5 years. And when you say 5 years, man, the Detroit Pistons, since they drafted Cade Cunningham, it's been a journey. It wasn't all easy. You look at the Orlando Magic, they drafted their players and things just seemed to go the right way. The Atlanta Hawks got Trae Young, and early on, things just seemed to go the right way. With the Houston Rockets, they got their young players, and you can see things going the right way. With the Pistons, man, you had people actually doubting if Cade Cunningham was that guy. But we're going to talk about it tonight. About to get Sean Murphy here on this mic. But first, if you come to this game tonight, you get a James Ivey bobblehead. I think this is pretty dope, nice. Man. I think it's pretty nice, man. So shout out to the Cruise and the Pistons for this tonight, man. But just before we get into our guests for tonight, because we're going to be talking to some of the movers and shakers from the Pistons content world throughout the night. I see the homie over there right now, Kuka Hill from Locked On Pistons is in the building. And we got a couple others that will be dropping by as well as some of our friends from Woodward Sports like Chris Platty, Spimo Racks, and others. But I got to ask you, man, Detroit Pistons are on like a 60-win pace right now. You got to give me that first reaction real quick.
Things are looking good, man. A lot to like. Just absolutely everything's going really well. And, I mean, they're shattering expectations. Pistons are the best start they've been in 20 years. And a lot of it comes from the people here at the Motor City Cruise doing their thing and about to talk to someone very special for them.
Definitely. Hey, so, look, guys, Motor City Cruise, they've made an impact in this community in ways, not just as it relates to when you see Chaz Lanier, Danis Jenkins, even Tolu Smith and others come up and help the Detroit Pistons, but you're talking about them being right here in downtown Detroit. They play their basketball Wayne State Fieldhouse. And you know what? They do have just as much as the Pistons do being a community asset. That's also a goal of the Motor City Cruise, too. So, you know what? We're going to talk to somebody that can tell us a little bit more about that impact tonight. You want to come on in? Are we on? Huh? Yeah, we're on now. We're on live now. I want you to be able to come on and talk to the people. I'm doing good. Just to introduce myself to you, I am Brandon. I cover Detroit Pistons hoops. I'm also on a couple different shows on the network for Woodward Sports. And tonight we wanted to be able to come out here and talk about some of the movers and shakers, talk to some of the movers and shakers within the Pistons and the Motor City Cruise world. So we have some of our content creators, some of our media, and we wanted to be able to talk to somebody from the Cruise organization as well. So I'm going to change this title here really quickly. There we go. But if you could, just tell us your name, introduce what you do for the Motor City Cruise.
So my name is China Jude. I'm the president of business operations for the Motor City Cruise. And I've been here for about a year. So my role is to oversee all of the operations on the business side. That includes marketing, tickets, community, pretty much everything when it comes to things that are off the court.
Yeah, and I know the Pistons also added a president of business operations as well. And
it's basketball.
And
my business, and then we have Speedy Walker, who's the president of basketball.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I love the focus on the community. I love the focus on making sure that there are things here for this, because I've brought my family a couple times here, and it's an awesome time every single time. I told people already as well, got the Jade and Ivy bobbleheads and everything, but aside from what goes on the court, which we've seen Chaz Lanier, Bobby Clement, and others be able to come up and have some impactful times for the Pistons, what are you most proud of as it relates to the impact with the community?
Yeah, the community is very important. The community has poured into us, and it's only right for us to pour back into the community. So we tap into the community for a variety of activations, whether that is participating in Hoop Fest, our Neighbors program, the Riverfront Sports Festival. We've done volunteer work also with the basketball operations side. And so we just really want to make sure that the community understands that we are one, and we do have one cruise. That's what we say on a regular basis. And so that community engagement is so important. And we want to make sure that these are transformation of this relationships versus transactional.
I really, really, really like that. And I can honestly tell you, that's what I feel. That's what my family has felt. Other people I've talked to come out to these games, that's what they feel too. It's real personable, and you can feel connected to the experience here, as well as I've seen a couple other events. I saw that there's an anti-bullying event, I believe.
Yeah. So within our One Cruise campaign, we have 3 components, and one of the component is a social component. Okay. So we're focusing on stop bullying. So we have teamed up with Buckets Over Bullying to make sure that we're going into schools and in the community to talk about how social media, texting, all these forms of communication by using the phone can really result in a lot of bullying. And so we want to educate our youth, really for the most part everyone, that we should not be bullying through our electronical devices. Right. And so we're engaging many of our school partners, bringing players out nitro and just providing some education.
Hey, that's awesome. Y'all heard it here first, man. Like, other than getting that education, make sure y'all use the devices, not to bully, but to cheer on those Pistons and those Motor City Crews, man. So, what's it been like as well? I guess just one more before I let you go. Yeah. Having the mix of the Detroit Pistons here with the Crews, because they're one of the organizations that are a lot more close. They practice in the same building, and sometimes you even see the players here supporting their Motor City Crews G League affiliate.
Yeah, one of the things that is an advantage in our particular situation is that of the NBA teams, there's very few where the G League and the parent team is under one roof. I believe approximately about 5 teams out of all the teams. So it is a wonderful opportunity for players to seamlessly go back and forth to each team. We have a number of regular players, not just our two-ways, but others that are going back and forth. So if fans don't get the chance to see players on the Pistons side, you can actually check the same action out, or similar action, I should say, because, of course, the opponents are different, but some great action here at the Crews game.
And you know what, I can tell you, on the court, off the court as well, the players after the game are signing autographs. When the Pistons players drop by, they're signing autographs. It's just an overall good time. And I think that these games, these events, they present some sort of I think a love letter back to the community and the fans. So when you guys can get down here, you want to check out the Motor City Crews. Look, we're going to talk a lot of Pistons tonight. That is why we are here. But I'm telling you, hey, Motor City Crews is definitely a spot to add to your list, man, in downtown Detroit. Any last words for the people?
No, just come out to a game. I mean, this is a great game we're having tonight against Grand Rapids Gold, which is a cross-state rivalry. Yeah. And then we have some great games coming up in February, from breast health awareness to women empowerment. We have our fan appreciation ending the season. So Hispanic Heritage Month is coming up for us too. So just a lot of great games. It's affordable. It's family friendly. We have great food, great entertainment, and actually you can be a part of the action if you want to come in and show your talent. Your singers, dancers, rappers, steppers, or whatever. We invite those to bring their talent and see what you can do out on this court. So yeah, come to a Crews game and go Crews.
Hey, you know what, China Jude, president of business operations for the Motor City Crews. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing the impact, not just on the court, but off the court as well, right here in Detroit. All right, thank you. You know what? Go Cruise. Hey, man, thank you guys for being tapped in. As you're getting here, smash that like button because we need this stream to go into the algorithm of not just Detroit sports fans, but also Knicks fans, Celtics fans, and all them other teams who are having a hard time understanding that the Pistons have arrived. And I got some friends that I've called here tonight to be able to help us talk about it tonight. You guys have already seen my guy Sean Murphy in the building, and I see Cool Cahill's in the building as well. Go get these guys back in here. And I got to say this too. Shout out to Sean Murphy from Half Court. This guy's a true professional, true friend. Yeah, definitely a cool in. Hey, Sean came in, man, brought the equipment. I had some stuff. Sean got some stuff that might be a little bit better. He came in, helped set up the stream and everything. Shout out to Pistons PR and their operations team, too, for helping this event come to fruition. We're hoping that we can do more of these. We want you guys to come out as well in the future and be able to talk to your favorite content creators, your favorite media, and honestly, overall, just have some fun out here in Pistons land and Motor City Cruise world. But, hey, all right, let me shift this over so we get cool in this mug, man. First and foremost, like I said, man, shout out to Sean Murphy. Shout out to Cool Cahill, man. I appreciate you guys for taking the time to come out here and to be able to talk a little bit of Pistons, man. But, Sean, I want to be able to get the mic back to you real quick before we get Cool Cahill tapped in to get his first half thoughts. And I want to be able to get just those moments that stuck out to you over the last 5 years of covering this team since they got Cade Cunningham as well.
First of all, in an alternate universe, I think this is a buddy cop movie in the making, the three of us. You know, something like Detroit PD or something like that. Get in the works, that's all I'm saying. But no, in all seriousness, I mean, obviously there's a lot of things that stand out over the years as far as like kind of like what led to this point. Obviously, all the different draft nights that we've covered, the different times we've seen the lottery balls either go their way or very much not go their way. You know, I think of when Cade Cunningham went out for the season with his shin injury, and there was question on whether or not the Pistons were going to, you know, be able to get where they're at, especially during that 28-game losing streak the year later. Back-to-back worst records in franchise history. We covered some tumultuous times here with the Crews and the Pistons during all that time. But, you know, the fact that they're resilient and they've largely done it in a way that is contradictory to how that's actually done in the modern league. So, yeah, man, it's been fun to watch, been fun to cover. Got to pass over to Kuka Hill, though, and hear what he's got.
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. I want to be able to say what up, though, to some of the people here in the chat, too. I'm seeing some people there. Who is this? Is that DJ? He says, holy ish, Kool-Aid, Sean and Cool. And you know what? We got some more people that are going to be showing up tonight, too, to talk about the Detroit Pistons real quick. Hey, shout out to the Grand Rapids Goals for coming here and giving the Crews somewhat of competition, but I think the Crews are going to have a good night. Chad Samir has 11 points so far, 3 of 5 from behind the arc. So that dude comes down here and he balls, but we're here to talk about the Detroit Pistons, and who better than Kuka Hill? Cool. This first half, you talk about a 60-win pace. I don't know how many people called that to start the season, even though we thought that this team would be better. But this team is looking like not just one of the best teams, if not the best team in the East, but one of the best teams in the NBA, man. Just your thoughts on it.
Yeah, look, the Pistons right here. Okay. Yeah, the Pistons are playing like one of the very best teams just overall in the entire NBA. If you look at their net rating, they're the second best net rating in the NBA. They have the second best defense in the NBA. They're one of the few handful of teams that have a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense. They've been absolutely phenomenal. I don't think there's anybody that could have possibly seen them being on a 60-win pace at this point in the season. Even for those out there that maybe were the most optimistic about this season, I don't think anyone could have seen them first in the East, second in net rating at this point in the season. I mean, this has been an incredible season. You've gotten a spectacular year, obviously, out of Cade Cunningham. You've gotten a lot of depth from this team as well. A lot of depth from this team.
Shout out Nitro. So homie right here, man. Hey, go Crews.
But I'll just say that this team is a lot deeper than I think anyone thought they were as well. They've won games without Cade. They've won games without some of their key players as well. This has just been an overall great season for the Pistons, and we'll see how the season ends up, but it's trending to be one of the more special seasons of the last, 25 years for them.
Goodness gracious, man. And you know what, man? That's understatement. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna use this one. That's an understatement. I'll be honest with you. You know, you look at what basketball has been and what hope has been. Obviously, we know what the going to work Pistons have been, but the Pistons have made the playoffs under Stanley Johnson and Andre Drummond years. And even though we respect the Blake Griffin year and everything he gave, we knew that there wasn't going to be much hope after that unless the Pistons got some lottery luck. And they had to tear it down the right way, too. And so coming through all of that, man, to see what they have right now with Cade Cunningham, which that didn't even get off to the best of starts. You know, all these young players have had some type of injuries or some type of challenges that I do believe have better prepared them for where they are right now. You know, this team, they lost 3 crucial vets that were in the mix from last year, but you wouldn't have even known it. They look like they're savvy, and even though there's still room to improve, I don't think that this is a team at all where you should hear the question of, are they for real? Are they going to fall off? I don't think this is last year's Detroit Tigers. I don't think this is the Red Wings of a couple of years ago who collapsed down the stretch. I believe this is a good team who the slow start they got off to was more akin to maybe the coaching that they were having, maybe the lack of development that they had within the organization. Because as soon as you picture J.B. Bickerstaff and a healthy Cade Cunningham, this team is absolutely taking off.
I mean, yeah, they've been, again, like I said, they've been spectacular this season. I think I said this on one of my podcasts recently that one of the things that you have to be really confident about where the Pistons will be throughout the season and them not being like a fluky story or whatever like that. It's just like how you talk about in the NFL when teams talk about, will a passing offense translate in the cold? Will it play well on the road? What you do know is that defense travels, and the Pistons have one of the best defenses in the NBA. If you look at the difference between OKC is by far the best defense in the league right now. They're 3.1 points better than the Pistons. If you look at the distance between the Pistons and OKC, the Pistons are closer to OKC in defense this year than the third team is to the 16th ranked defense in the NBA. So it goes OKC tier 1, the Pistons tier 2, and their own tier, and then it's the rest of the NBA. So as long as the Pistons have that, and I don't see any reason to see why that would all of a sudden fall off, they're going to be one of the best defenses in the league. That's going to translate no matter who they play, where they play. They're going to continue to be a great team because that their offense needs to improve at times, but the defense will continue to be one of the best in the entire NBA. It's been the best over the last 10 games as well.
Yeah, by the way, since December 1st, the best defense in the NBA as far as defensive rating goes.
Yeah.
So the fact that for 7 weeks now, they've been at the very top of the league as far as that goes. And even when this team has had their supposed dips and haven't played their best basketball, they picked it up very quickly. And this team has only lost twice in a row, like, 2 or 3 times this entire season. The fact that they're able to go out and, consistently compete. And I remember I asked JB, what makes this season, what makes this team special? And he said the thing that makes him the most proud is that you can point to 1 through 15 and point to how they've contributed to winning in a certain fashion. So that says everything.
Man, no, that's a bar. And I see some people in the chat. Who is this? Is that Brad Hendricks? Brad Hendricks. Hey, shout out Brad Hendricks, man, and all of the regulars and all the new people that are here. I see you, Flake Dog. He asked, does this panel here think we do something by the trade deadline? And we're definitely going to talk about it while we got Cool Hill here. And I know there was some news today about one Mr. J. And what do you think is the prospects? I know some people are hoping that they make a big move. Some people are hoping that they don't do anything because I've seen a lot of people who believe in this mix. They think it's special. And J.B. Bickerstaff said that to start the season. The players echoed that sentiment at media day. But you know what? What's your thoughts on that, man? I'll kick it off with you first, and then we got to get it from Sean Murphy as well as it relates to the Pistons at the trade deadline.
Yeah, I think I'd expect them to make a move at the deadline. Brett Seigel, I believe, was the one who reported today that the Pistons are gouging the market on Jay and Ivy. I said on the podcast last week that I had been hearing that the Pistons were looking at the market for Jay and Ivy and looking at what his price or what his value is on the market right now. I think it's just clear. We've seen Ivy obviously went through a tough situation. He went through a tough injury to start the year. He's been in a tough situation since the injury that he suffered. What was it? Almost a year and
January 1st, 2025.
So yeah, he's been through a lot, but the team obviously has an overabundance of guards right now, and they don't have as deep of a front court as maybe like they have a really good starting center and backup five, probably the best depth at that position in the NBA. But I think a lot of people are aware and a lot of people are under the same page that for them to take what maybe some people outside Detroit believe as the next step. They need a 4. They need some more shooting. They need some more scoring. And right now they have so much depth at the point guard or at the guard position that it's, okay, can you shift some of that depth there at the guard position to fulfill some of the weaknesses at the other parts of the rotation? Right now they got, obviously, Cade. They got Duncan taking up a lot of the minutes at the 2. You got Marcus Sasser who's been playing. You got Dennis Jenkins, who I think has been their best guard off the bench. You got Karen Levert. You got Jay and Ivy. So you got 6 guys, and then we have Chaz Lanier, who's out here right now, and he played, and he played well in the minutes he got, I believe, against Chicago. Chicago.
Yeah, it was Chicago.
He played really well when he was called upon. So they have a ton of guards that they're playing or that they really like, and amongst them, all of them, Dennis is the only real one I feel like that is able to contribute on both ends of the floor, trusted ball handle, can create his own shot, can create offense. So I think you'll start to see as his 8 games expire, the last game he can play before they give him a standard contract is February 5th, which is the day of the deadline. I think what I've understood that what their understanding is that obviously they can just release Isaac Jones eventually and give Dennis that last roster spot, but they are waiting until that point, till the trade deadline, see if they can pull off a 2v1 trade to open up another roster spot for Dennis. So I think the most obvious person that Brett Seigel reported today, I heard it last week, is that potentially they do move Jay and Ivy. I think it would be good for him at this point, to be honest, that they do move him, maybe someone else to kind of create not only a roster spot, but also fulfill some of the need, maybe at the shooting, whether it be shooting at the 3 or 4, or just get another 4 on the team. I think that's what the team needs, and I think it really would make them even more of a complete team.
Yeah, I feel like the word of the deadline is opportunistic. Talking about like how the Pistons could potentially go and make a move while also staying flexible with what they have. Because you talk about how there's going to be an Omega bag coming from Jalen Duren this summer. There's going to be another bag coming for Asar Thompson here pretty soon. I think they could even start having those negotiations this summer. So I imagine, that won't take long. And then, from there, it's like you're very quickly have an expensive roster. So, as much as it would be great to talk about the Pistons going and getting a Jaren Jackson Jr. or Lauri Markkanen, or, Tim Bontemps brought up Kyrie Irving the other day as like a type of player. I think more than likely Detroit tries to do things around the margins, similar to when they got Schroeder last year, but someone who's more of a shooter and perhaps more of a wing than a guard, like Koo said, because of guys like Dennis, you don't need another guard in that light. So, I think this is very similar to where Houston and Oklahoma City were at about a year or two. Like Houston last year and OKC the year before, where it's, hey, we have a real opportunity to do something now. Let's see what this group can do before we go and make the move, like when Houston went and got Kevin Durant. So I wouldn't be surprised if they kept it pretty marginal, because let's be honest, when you have a guy like Cade Cunningham, who, let's remember who his favorite player growing up was, Dirk Nowitzki. He values being in one place, and I think he's someone who wants to have a career like Dirk, where you can stay in one place long term. When you have a guy who's going to be in the best in the world conversation pretty much his entire career, your window's wide open. Yep. So you got to be mindful about that.
Yeah, and it's interesting that these are the conversations we're having right now about a player that at one point in time we thought was a lot for this future and for this core, but we always said you can't keep everybody. And I've always thought this, man. I don't think that it's disrespectful or slight if they find a way to improve their team by leveraging some of their young talent. That's what you want to be in. If you can't keep everybody, and you know that there's going to be some weaknesses that show themselves down the road. I think that this is the perfect thing. And Trajan Langdon, as cerebral as a player as he is, he's proven to be that as a GM. Take your time. You guys have talked about it. Keep your flexible options open. And when you have guys like Mike Blackstone in that front office who understands it, it's almost as if he wrote the CBA and understands the apron and these things better than what I've come to understand. Some organizations in the NBA know themselves. And so that's how you look at the Schroeder deal. That was a big deal, but it was minimal impact financially because they understood how to navigate that. So, it's going to be interesting coming up on this one and how that plays itself out with Jay and Ivy. It's crazy that we're talking about it now. I'm telling you, a year ago, at the start of last season, I'm thinking he's a lock for the future. He's on his way to getting that contract. And I, at that time, thought that he was slightly ahead of Jalen Duren, who entered this season and has been absolutely on another tear, man. So that's going to be interesting to see. If I had to say what was going to happen, I am expecting, like you said, Sean, more of an incremental move. Jaden Ivey going out could also be an incremental move, like you said, to open up a roster spot so that they can kind of do some shuffling, some in-house business keeping. So that was a real good question from Brad Hendrickson. I know, like I said, we got some more people that are going to be stopping by tonight, but cool, man. What are some of the moments for you that have stood out over the years, man, over the last 5 years you've been on this kind of Pistons beat thing? What stood out for you? And you can't say Cade Cunningham being drafted as a Piston.
Fair enough, even though that was obviously a big moment. I think one of the biggest moments that I always remember about this era of like Pistons basketball is having to talk about a team that's lost 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 20, like as the losing streak just continued to pile up.
When you turned to the Sith.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I went to the dark side and we had Darth Koo out there. I'll never forget that the team, it felt like the team was getting more, not felt like it was, the team was getting more spotlight as they lost more than like I had ever seen. It was crazy. And then to witness that and then to know like a year and a half later, they're in a first round playoff series forcing game 6, a few plays away from going game 7 against the New York Knicks. And now 2 years later, the best team in the Eastern Conference, one of the best teams in the entire NBA. It's just crazy. It's absolutely insane. I don't see how anyone could have seen that big of a jump that quickly. But it speaks to what happens when you have a franchise guy. Obviously, the other parts matter. But when you have that guy and Cade Cunningham, he plays like that guy, that helps you make that jump. Some of the other things I really would like that jump out to me, Trajan Langdon, I feel like, has been really good on the margins. What he's done, he hasn't made any real big moves, but what he's done on the margins has been stuff I've asked this team to do for a while. I remember when I first took over Locked On Pistons, and one of the first things I said was, look at what the Pelicans have done, finding a Jose Alvarado on a two-way contract. Now it's like, oh, we found a two-way contract guy. Now he's a legit roster player, legit rotation player. You look at some of the teams across the league, they use their two-way contracts to find potential diamonds in the rough. And I felt like the Pistons hadn't done that for a long time. Like they kind of wasted their two-way contracts. And now Trajan comes in, and Dennis Jenkins is here, and I think he's going to be a legit player for the Pistons for a while. I think his development, his emergence is what really has caused a lot of the talks about potential trades. So seeing Trajan crush those margins, seeing him be able to acquire Dennis Schroeder, like you mentioned earlier, for minimal cost and while maintaining future flexibility, I felt like during the time of Weaver's tenure, that was one of my biggest critiques, is lack of asset management and not dominating the margins. And I feel like Trajan has done the absolute best job he can, not only building like a team that can compete, obviously, and win, but also trying to improve along those margins and get better in those asset management opportunities. I think those are some things that stick out to me if we're not going to talk about Cade. Obviously, the drafting of Jalen Duren at the 13th pick, jumping up to go after him. I think that was obviously turns out to be an absolutely insane move to be able to pull off. Getting Asar Thompson, the 5th overall pick, has been big. I've really liked a few things that this team has done over the last few years. It's been fun to watch and fun to see happen, especially, again, considering that just 2 years ago, they lost 28 games in a row. Again, it's crazy.
We used to say, the Pistons lost again.
Yeah.
Wait, shout out Wingstop.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Let us in. Rip up those Friars, man.
You know what, man? I got to turn the question to you as well, Sean. What's been some of those moments, good, bad, and different? Because it's been meaningful. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, man. I mean, the thing that will always stick out to me is a lot of coaches come in and make promises when they come into the introductory press conference. Yeah. And when J.B. Bickerstaff said come February, March, you're going to be seeing Detroit Pistons basketball again. He didn't lie. It didn't even take until December. That's the thing that was impressive about it. And you even look at something that, I think we underrated at the time when you look at the drafting of a Ron Holland. He was probably one of, if not the only prospect in that entire draft class who understood what the Pistons went through the year before. Him and Montas Buzelis, because of the fact that the Ignite had that big losing streak themselves. So the fact that you had an entire group, including the rookies, who were driven, who had a chip on their shoulder, who felt like they were being looked over, being disrespected, and, you know, the fact that, I mean, there's that infamous quote during the streak where Cade said, "We're not 2-28 bad," and he was absolutely right. If anything, you know, it's the polar opposite now, and so it just, to me, it's like a testament, like you were talking about how for when you're talking about development, it's amazing what happens when you put adults in the room, and even a guy like Tobias Harris, who was viewed as the ultimate damaged goods in the league. He was someone who was a punchline in Philadelphia. Is someone who's viewed as in the total opposite light. One man's trash is another man's treasure, and Toby's like the epitome of that.
Goodness gracious, man. Y'all are preaching, man. This is why we do these things. There's so many great minds out there, and I can tell you this. With my time on the beat, some of the most fun and some of the most engaging and some of the most enriching it's been when these guys started to have their feet in those in that media room as well.
Don't make the blush too hard, man.
I'm being for real, man, especially the conversation. I mean, y'all know who I talk hoops with. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I see my guys over here downtown Deuce. We got Summer Weathers and KG in the building too. Like, you guys are the ones that I talk hoops with, and no disrespect to anybody else. But it made it that much better for me, man, especially when we were going through some down times in that cold arena sometimes, you know, but it was dope. And this year, it's interesting because y'all already know, I always got a camera going, and I've caught some crazy expressions from both of these guys this season. And it's like, it's different because we try to go in there and cover this thing as professionally as possible. I might have a little bias in there sometimes, but it's awesome to see you guys' faces when you're in there and you work through this, you earned this opportunity to be able to be in that media room, and you see this team playing well, you see that steady impact, and you know this team is about to give us a great run of basketball. You know what? Good on you guys for putting in that sweat equity and definitely being there to be a voice for this business community out there. It's awesome when we go live and I'm seeing people like, oh, shoot, Sean Murphy. Oh, shoot, Cooper Hill. I think that's something that deserves a little bit of spotlight. So I wanted to make sure tonight we honor some of those people. We just make sure that we tell you guys from us, from Woodward Sports, from Kool-Aid, man, we see you guys out there.
Hey, between the three of us, a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and plates eaten at that Pistons buffet, man. You already know.
It's the best,
you already know.
Best in the league.
Blood, sweat, tears, and plates, man. That's what we're going through.
I'm glad you mentioned the arena's cold. I feel like I was the only one who feels like every time I'm in there, I feel like I'm freezing.
I mean, hey, it reminds you it's a hockey arena right away, man.
Yeah.
Right away.
Cool. Do you see me without a coat at LCA? Look at me tonight, though. No coat on, man. Hey, you know what? Let me, I guess we'll back up a little bit.
No, you can get these guys in. I can switch out for a bit.
I can switch out too.
Dope. Hey, well, you know what? Give your final say to the people. Definitely, man. If you're sticking around, come on back over throughout the night and say what up, Doug, to the people as we get to some of these other topics.
So, yeah, just want to say appreciate you, Brandon. Appreciate everybody checking it out. Appreciate Woodward. This has been a fun season for the Pistons. Hopefully it continues to be a fun year to cover. The next few weeks, I've said this over and over, you are going to continue to hear the Pistons in trade talks for the next, or not trade talks, trade rumors for the next 2 weeks. So many people are wondering what they're going to do, and I don't think even the Pistons know what they want to do right now. So it's going to be a lot of fun to keep up with.
Let's just say that, you know, some of the things that I've pushed on that I've normally been able to, it's a little bit more coy, and I think it is because of that. I believe that they're like, okay, this is a situation we have in front of us.
Yeah, they didn't know that they'd be in this position at all. It's another year where Trajan's like, I did not think that we were going to be here, so now I got to reevaluate things. So it's
that part of it, dog. And, hey, you know what? Shout out to, I see you, Chief IT Hips. He was like, wow, Cougar Hill? Come on, boy.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, but I'm going to get some more people in here. We got Chris Platty on the way, man. Shout out to my brother, Chris Platty. You guys know I've done a lot of Pistons streams with him this year. Another person I've done a lot of Pistons basketball with over the year. You gotta come on, man. I gotta cut the line real quick for somebody, man. He gonna hold the mic. And I see why I ain't say that with the $10 super chase. His only our dude will be giving love to the farm system for the Pistons. Sean Murphy and the other guy, too, doing work, man. He says that he likes to stream and don't embarrass our man Kool-Aid. Come on, people, man. Hey, Look, hit that like button for the stream, man. Hit that like button for Woodward Sports. Hit the like button for all of the people that's come out. We went and we called everybody. I'm going to do this as the season goes on. Continue to go and get the best from this community who's been doing it for a long time. We're going to come right here and we're going to rap about it. But you already know, man. Anytime I get an opportunity to talk who's for my guy KG.
Yes, sir. What's going on with you?
First place Pistons.
Ah, man, it's been amazing. What a year, bro.
Hey, man,
what a year.
Been a year for sticky notes.
Yep. Hey, but you know your boy was right on one of them. I'm just saying, we all know which one cashed. So I'm just leave it at that.
Jalen Duren is looking like the second option, dog.
Hey, man, he was a beast last night too, bro. 20 or 15, hell of a game from him. And I was going to ask this as one of the questions. I know we're going to get into it a little bit later, but just straight up, should he start being considered for All-Star reserve the way he's been balling right now?
He said who?
Jalen Duren.
A lot. A lot. OCK. Like, this guy this year is averaging, if you want to round the numbers up a little bit, 18 points, 11 rebounds, 2 blocks, and a couple steals per game.
Yeah.
And the effect that he has for this team as it relates to deterring shots now, as it relates to being a lob threat and such, Jalen Duren is taking things up to a completely different level. You know what? We'll get Summer Weathers.
All right, gotta get Summer in here.
Yeah.
Woo Crew Union?
Yeah, this is part of the Woo Crew, man. We got Summer Weathers in the building, man. But Jalen Duren, to me, he's an all-star. Like, now, I don't know. Thank you, Brody. I don't know necessarily how things are going to play out.
Right.
Because the league is funny, man.
It is.
But I was on the stream the other night, and Chris Platty made this very, very key point. The Pistons are the number 1 team in the East. They are legitimately looking like the number 2 team in all of the NBA.
Yeah, for real.
That deserves something. If you're giving me Derek White or Drew Holiday for the Celtics, you're going to have to give me at least Jalen Duren for the Pistons.
I agree.
That's just kind of where I'm at. We talked about that question, man. What about you, brother?
Hey, I feel like Jalen Duren has really took that step, bro. Like, offensively, he's been a revelation this year. I mean, we thought he needed to just try and get a jump shot and maybe, he'd be able to do something. But you done seen it all, man. You done seen back to the basket play, a little bit of face up. We already know he can handle you already know he can handle the basketball. He's pulling up top of the free throw line. Like, this is the type of stuff that you only dreamed of.
Poster dunks, poster lobs. Like,
he has become a monster in terms of just owning the paint, bro. That's been the biggest thing that has impressed me this year. He's just a pit bull, bro. When he get down there, it's going to be a problem. He's one of the strongest, if not the strongest player in the NBA, and he's acting like it. I wish Asar Thompson had Jalen Duren's mentality sometimes, and we'll get a little more into that too. But with Jalen Duren just straight out realizing, hey, I'm dominant. Let me get down here in the paint. Let me work, and then that'll open up everything else. He's been able to do that in spades and add in a little bit of defense. He's been a well-rounded Jalen Duren this year.
I love everything that you said about it. And you know what? I'm glad that it's you talking about Jalen Duren like this first on the stream tonight, because for all the Wool Crew and all of the Woodward Pistons streams we've done, you've been real bold and big about Jalen Duren being able to be that number 2 guy.
It's called a madman.
And now he was called a madman. And you know what? It's not just that he's ascended to that. He did that after they lost. I'm going to continue to say this. They 3 vets from last year that had a lot to do with their success, man. So shout out to Jalen Duren. I think he's a lot, but got Summer Weathers in the building. Y'all remember
shout out
with Pistons. She got her own thing too, man. She's been doing interviews for a long time, going back to the college days and everything. But how are you feeling tonight? We are here at the Motor City Cruise game. It is Black Excellence Night.
Shout out
our guy High Def Steph on the 1s and 2s over there. And it's just good vibes right now between the Motor City Cruise and the Grand Rapids Gold. But Summer Weathers, just talk to the people real quick, man, just how you feeling tonight. And just overall on the Pistons, man, on a 60-win pace this year and looking like a team that should be representing the East in the finals.
Yeah. How's everybody doing? But yes, here at the Cruise game, it is definitely electric. Shout out to the Detroit Pistons, man, too, as well. I mean, we going to the finals.
Hey, say that again.
We going to the finals. I was just telling Deuce, like, who we playing in the finals? Who we got?
Hey, OKC better figure out the Spurs.
Hey.
That's not our problem too, finals.
But yeah, speaking of Jalen Duren, like you said, KG, you had some great points. He really has extended his game this season, and it's so great to see him playing the way that he has been. So it's really good. I mean, all around team effort from everybody, but man, this Pistons team is hot.
Hey, they are hot, man. And I almost feel like that's an understatement. We all thought that they were going to improve, but to this much, I had no idea. So it's like to see the Pistons right now at a pace where we could be looking up and seeing them like if their pace slows. Hey, shout out to Kuka Hill, man. Shout out to Kuka Hill for stopping by. It's like even if their pace slows and they win like 55 games, that's still an amazing feat. And I'm sitting here like I thought, okay, let's get them to 50, 51 games, a 6-game improvement. You know what? Here to go to Pistons, man. There's a lot of people though who I've heard some people, I've had some people in the comments. They say, yeah, but what if the Pistons are like last year's Tigers? I think this team is much more. They're much more robust. Where people say, yes, Scuba got the back-to-back Cy Youngs, but he's a pitcher that pitches every 5 days. That's your best player. Yeah. And they say you need your best player to play almost every day. Well, the Pistons' best player plays almost every day. You know, when you got Cade Cunningham, when you got Jalen Duren, and the wealth of talent that they have, and this whole team seems to want to go out there and play defense at an elite level, that's the recipe. This team will go out there and shoot 25% from beyond the arc, but will bludgeon the other team into holding them underneath 100 points, which Pistons have done several times this year, man. So, you know, they're for real because of their defense, because of their hustle, and it's giving them an opportunity to figure out the offense so far to this point in the season. Whether Cade is up or down, whether Cade's in the game or not, whether Duncan Robinson's hitting his shot or not, this Pistons team more times than not is finding a dub. Like 32-10, that's crazy, dog.
Man. And can we talk about Danish Jenkins?
Hey, look, we're in the house that Jenkins built. Yes, sir. We're at Wayne State Field.
We got to talk about Dennis. We at the cruise. Yes, I think I'm so glad. Yes. I always knew Dennis had it in him. I already knew, like, when I came on to the games all last year, I knew Dennis was going to be special. It was just a matter of time. So I'm really happy for him and how he's been performing. I mean, he's gelling right.
You're another one that was out at Summer League.
Yep. So, honestly, great work from Danish Jenkins, and I'm just happy. Hopefully, he gets his full contract, you know. So, I hope we need him on the roster full time. But, yeah, it's great to see it, man.
It seems like every single time he gets the opportunity to step up, we see him show out. And another night where, you know, Cade gets the opportunity to rest a little bit, and he stepped up again, man. I was even more impressed with who Dennis Jenkins was down the stretch of that game. Right. He was big. We were like, all right, where are they going to go? We thought Tobias was a steadying force, but Dennis Jenkins was a guy who we said, you know, we think he can get going because we've seen him several times this year, not shy away from the big moments. I wonder how much of that is because of he's one of your older players on the team, and he probably feels like, man, I've been there, I've done that, man. I'm about that too. And you see him walk like that. You see him walk and talk like that. And some guys, that confidence gives you that much more of an edge on the court. And it's crazy because when he comes down here, he almost plays like he's disrespected. It's like, damn, why did you just score like 30 points in 6 straight games, bro? Chill. You got you in the league.
It's great to see. Seriously.
Talk about it.
Nah, man, his development has been crazy because, like Summer said, we got to cover him a little bit last year. Like you said, the house that Danis built, he was in here balling, man. But there were some things that you kind of wondered about at the NBA level, you know, with the shooting translate. You know, could he really be a secondary ball handler at times? And he's been able to come in the NBA and really take it by storm, I would say, at least for the Pistons end of it. You've gotten more production out of him than I think you anticipated. And it's really been great to see because they needed it. They needed a guard that could go out there and play with the aggressiveness that he goes out there and plays with. You know, we had concerns about Marcus Sasser. You know, you didn't really know what Karis LeVert would look like coming off the bench for this team, but I think Dennis Jenkins has delivered in spades in terms of the role that they asked him to play and exceeding in that role.
Hey, you know, you preaching, man. You preaching. I see Platty said he just pulled up.
Shout out.
Jalen, Mr. For What, just pulled up as well. So, like I told you guys, we're going to try and make this a regular occurrence. Want you guys to be able to come out here as well, meet us, talk to us, talk Pistons, jump on the stream as well in the future, man. So, look, Motor City Cruise, Wayne State Fieldhouse. We're gonna be doing this as much as they'll let us. So make sure Brody Hickle ain't showed up to kick us out yet. Now it look like we straight for tonight, man. So thank you guys for being here as well. Go ahead and smash that like button. We got more of our friends in the building, some sports personalities, and some personalities you've seen around the Pistons universe, man. So shout out to Downtown Deuce in the building. But I'm gonna wrap with my Woo crew just a little bit more. With these Detroit Pistons, how confident are you that this is a team that's going to continue? Because I've seen this everywhere, low management.
Right.
Continue to be what we've seen them be in the first half. Not that they're not going to make the playoffs. I know they're going to do that and be a good team. But this is a philosophy. Do you go in strong and in a rhythm? Or with the Pistons team that's dealt with some injuries, do you load manage a little bit more in the second half since you've given yourself a little bit of a cushion?
Let KG go first.
Yeah. All right, yeah, no.
You got me thinking. Hold on.
I mean, that's the NBA. That's the NBA that we in now, man. Load management is become a way of life in the NBA. And when you just look at what Cade's been through, lately he missed last night's game as well. It's rumored that he's dealing with a few different things. I would definitely opt to load manage Cade and some other players too, because even though they've been able to win in spite of injuries, you're going to need all hands on deck toward the end of the year. We already know this is after the All-Star break is when serious basketball really picks up, and you want everybody in form and as much rhythm as you can get them in. So, yes, I would absolutely opt to load manage, whether it's Unk, whether it's, Cade, just whoever that you need to get through the rigors of the rest of the season and make sure you're right for that playoff push.
Absolutely. And I agree with you 100% because this team, everybody has been contributing. So it honestly wouldn't be bad if that was to happen because everybody comes in, they play hard, they play to, Detroit basketball. So even if they do have to go that route, I don't see that being a problem because everybody's going to contribute.
Yeah, definitely, man. Because I was going back and forth on it too. Like, all right, is there something to the rhythm thing? Because last year they decided to do some load management down the stretch, and you saw Cade go a little bit cold. I thought that was more due to him not understanding what it would take you're playing extra games now.
Right.
You're playing deeper into the season now, and you're playing guys who have been there before. Yeah. Cade said after that playoff series, now we know what it takes. Now we know how to work out. Now we know how to this and how to that. And so I do believe that you're able to get them a little bit of rest down the stretch. Kids do some rest this year as well down the stretch so they can go into the playoffs as healthy as possible and get everything. Because I think that this Pistons team, they're proving that they know how to value each and every possession as it relates to a hustle standpoint. Now, from a turnover standpoint, they're going to have to get that together on offense.
Absolutely,
that
bro.
Can sink them. It did in last year's playoffs. I believe this. If they had the turnovers under control, we wouldn't be sitting here saying right now, well, if Isaiah Stewart was healthy, we would have beat the Knicks. Yeah. They did cost themselves, even with Isaiah Stewart, which, should have been a sign of just how good this team could be if they improve just a little bit. They come into this season and they improve a lot on the defensive side, and the offense is showing a whole lot more cohesion. I do believe that this is a team that as you're getting into hey, what up, though, boy?
Platy in the house, shout out.
I think this is a team that's going to keep things consistent. And
Thought you was about to say me.
Even when they've had breaks and come back, the Pistons have still gone out there and BTA. Even when K is not there, BTA. Last year, if K is not there, you're worried.
Right.
You're a little. This year, we're a little bit like, man, I know a guy named Danis.
Yeah, right.
It's different, man.
No, you got help in a lot of different places now. So I feel a lot more comfortable with Cade having that experience under his belt and a lot of your young core. I think this is going to be a big playoffs for B. Stu because B. Stu was somebody you sorely
at the bit,
you sorely missed him last year, and he would have been just a great element to the Pistons' attack against the Knicks. And let me tell you, they don't want to see us this year. The Knicks do not want to see the Pistons in no way, shape, or form.
They're not built like that, bro.
No, but it's not just for the Knicks, though. I think the Pistons are that dangerous team that nobody really wants to see because they get after it so hard on defense, man. But I think that, you can find a way to find the balance between load management and still keeping your rhythm because we already know this team, like you said, has been super cohesive. You don't want to interrupt the flow. You don't want to interrupt the synergy on offense. So I think you got to pick your spots. But ultimately, I want to see, a lot of our team playing in March and April. So,
And a lot of this consistency is due to Jazz. A lot of the success is definitely because of JB Bickerstaff too. We got to give credit to him. I mean, the way that grit mentality has passed right on to the Detroit Pistons team.
Facts.
So we gotta show some love to JB Bickerstaff.
You know what, man? Shout out to Summer Weathers, man, for bringing up JB Bickerstaff. You were the first to bring up Jalen Duran. You're the first to bring up JB Bickerstaff. Boy, that's how Woo Crew do, man.
Yes, sir.
Shout out, man. And you know what? It's a good environment here tonight. The Crews, they are smacking their in-state rival, the Grand Rapids Gold. It's 72-52, man. And Chaz Lanier is crushing right now.
Of course he is.
Crushing.
Come
I
on
really
now.
got 16 points.
I'm so excited about his future, bro. You don't even understand, bro.
Specialist, bro. We talked about it too, man.
Yeah.
Chaz Lanier is a specialist. I'm looking forward to it. But anything else you want to tell people about the Pistons?
Well, since you mentioned it, Chaz Lanier, he get hot from the 3-point, so he was definitely a great pickup for this team. He hit it.
Speaking of devil.
Speaking of a 3.
Oh man. Look at Summer predicting stuff. She like Tony Romo of basketball, man. Look at Summer.
No, that's my point, man. Oh man. I gotta get this guy in here too.
Yeah,
man.
come on now. Come on now. CP, man. This CP, bro.
Listen, we'll back up just a little bit and get a few more people in here. Yeah. No, you can get in if you want. Yeah, you can get it if you want. Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Musical chairs.
Dog. I know, yeah. We got it.
Or scoot this way, yeah.
Sorry for us as we're getting things together. And I see people saying, yo, look, I like Chaz a lot, man. We in the building. Chris Platty is in the ball. Noah Platty is in the building, brother. How you feeling, man? Thanks for, you know what? Thanks for making a drive over. You had heavyweights today. That literally just ended at 7.
And I feel like
flew over
shout
out
out the heavyweights, man. It feels kind of weird getting the Ivy bobblehead after Easy. After Easy today. He kind of took he kind of talked his talk today, but man, I'm excited to be here because I haven't been to a G League game yet, and I've really liked the prospects of Chaz. I know you were just raving about him. Everything you say, I'll co-sign. Like he's awesome. And Clipman, man, I really want to see what he can do. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see the ball. The atmosphere is cool. My brother went to Wayne, so I've been in these buildings before, but never for a G League game. So I'm excited, man. It's so fun, man. I mean, like Chaz and Bobby, man, they look like NBA players, and so the fact that I get to see them in the G League, you know, that just lets you know how good it's going here in Detroit. So
I like it, man. And Chaz Lanier is tearing it up tonight. He has 19 points already. 10 minutes still to go in the third quarter, and they're up 77-55. But Platty, I've been asking everybody today, the Pistons. We've all been clued in over the last 5 years since they drafted Cade Cunningham, man. What's been some of your highs or some of your moments, whether they've been highs or lows? What's been some of the moments that stuck out to you the most? And you cannot say the draft of Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, no, I can't. But I can say I manifested that. I had a tweet that morning, I woke up and I said it was the day of the draft lottery, and I said today's a beautiful day for the Detroit Pistons to win the draft lottery, and they did. I tried that 3 more times, it didn't work, but but. It worked the one time, and
that's the time that we needed it to work.
Yeah, I'm good with the one it worked with. But
make sure y'all be sure to thank Chris Platty and Lucky the Teddy Bear.
You're welcome. No, but, no, man. I'd say some high moments, man. Were being in the building for those playoff games last season. That was just an atmosphere that I dreamed of. You know, I haven't been to a game like that since I was a grown adult, since I could drive a car. So to see that atmosphere was amazing. And then trying to think of like some simple moments, but there were some simple moments that I can't really think of right now that were just like regular season game 42, didn't really matter, but like a bright performance from somebody. I can't really think of one right now, so that's a good question.
I can tell you this, though, man. One of the moments for me is you going to those games in those dog years.
Oh yeah.
Like I was doing all of the content on the concourse, and I would be seeing you, and I would be seeing your booth mate on heavyweights, Nick Koloff. So
Shout out.
this team heavy.
Shout out,
when
Mike.
nobody else was. That arena was cold, and then we already heard it from Blue.
He got
And you were
season
one of the
tickets
ones
because
that
of
was
Kate Cunningham.
I know.
Nick
I remember.
Nick.
I remember.
Nick, man, like that's the dude that's dedicated, that's locked in, and you know, him and I cut up the film of when we drafted a star, you know, and we cut up that video, and that was a very memorable moment. But yeah, man, I just, to me it was just always flashes, right? Like you saw like a great quarter from Ivy, or you saw a great quarter from Duran or Asar. It was always just these flashes, and you kept going crazy because you're like, I like all these guys individually. I would like for them to work together, but I don't know if it's going to work together. And now that it has, it's honestly it's a beautiful thing. Because say what you want about Ivy right now, but the Pistons are in a position where they can take this slow and they could really try to build this together. And that's such a cool thing to be a part of, man. To watch these guys come in year after year and build up together. And so I can't point to a particular moment, but it's just cool because you like them all individually. Now to see them together and thriving after the struggles that they had, it's been euphoric, man. It's been a great season.
Yeah, it's been. Shout out Matty Fresh in the chat, man.
Shout out.
I run into Matty Fresh, listen, everywhere. Okay, anywhere there's a hoops event, Big 3 event, he's there. Motor City Cruise events, he's there. Like the K Cunningham, he's there. Pistons games, he's there, man. Shout out to Matty Fresh. He supports Woodward Sports too, man, and he watches all the shows. So, man, I just want to make sure I send my shout out. Hey, slow my trade, Ivy. Slow my. Is that
man.
what he wants?
Man. Do we
Is that
have
what he wants? Oh, he
a
wants.
tough talk right now, man?
Listen, I think we might have to have that tough talk right now on Mr. J. Navi. I would love to be able to get these guys in on it too, man. This might be a big table talk that we have to get in now. We have to find some way to make this work, man. I might have one more seat that I can get over here. But let's talk about this a little bit, and I want to be able to get some people involved. But
I'll take
all right, dope. But Sean Murphy, man, you stepping up first, and what up, Dalton?
Stepping into the gauntlet right now.
Here.
You got the loaded question right now.
Oh boy.
Well, yeah, we're talking the man of the hour, man.
Oh no.
Set you out clean. She just ducked out.
She did. She brought you in here, man. And you know what? I'm gonna let you kick this off because I know you had some questions prepared for Swisher Brick. But talk to me, man, about Jaden Ivey. If you got the question prepared, and I want Sean to be the first to answer this thing off. So we're setting Sean up right now.
All right, bet. Well, you know the name of the game, Swisher Brick. I present a question or a statement, and you have to answer whether it's a swish or a brick. Pretty simple. And one of the questions, since we talk about Jaden Ivey, is it is okay to be concerned with Jaden Ivey's level of play to this point in the season. Swish or brick?
Nothing but the bottom of the net. Swish. Just, I mean, at a certain point, I hate to say it, it's like, on one hand, there are certain injuries that just take a longer time to come back from than others. The AC, anything leg related is always a difficult injury to come back from. But I think there's two things that you wanted to see from Ivy when he came back. And for me, it's like, number one, it's like, how much of the speed is still there? And the answer, I mean, granted, it's early, but thus far, there's some, but not enough, I would say. And the second thing that I look at is, okay, but how's the basketball IQ come along? And it feels like Ivy, for so long, has gotten away and played his game with his athleticism, with his game-breaking speed, being the best athlete on the court. And sometimes when you have guys that's how they play the game and they lose their legs, they face an injury, especially when they're really young, it's like an identity crisis as a player. And so when you talk about having to figure out how to not only be a role player, but a different player than you've been in your entire career. Oh, and by the way, we're having legitimate conversations. Like, we're saying this team could go to the finals, and none of us are laughing. If you want to talk about like the truth serum of where this team is at now versus where it's been, if we would have said finals, it would have been, ha, good one. Whereas now, the game has changed. And so, yeah, as much as I think all four of us here believe that Jaden Ivey's upside is still something that's very much there, you don't necessarily have a lot of room to explore that when you're playing for positioning in the playoffs. When you're playing for home seed, when you're playing for home court and first seed, that completely changes the conversation.
Hey, Isaac Jones, real quick, man. Shout out to the Motor City Crew. They're smacking the Grand Rapids gold, dog. These are great players out here.
They're pulling a Jokic right now and chomping down on that quesarito right now, man. Yeah,
Get a Taco Bell commercial in here, would you?
I need one. Yeah.
So to answer your question, to me, it's swish. It's count that baby in a foul to me, because it's like, at the end of the day, I had this thought this morning, and it just hasn't left me since. And I don't like to go to these dark places, but what if he's Brandon Roy and by 28 he's not the same player? This is a lot of leg injuries. This is hard to come back from. I do think that next year he is a better player than he is right now. So I actually don't, hate the idea of keeping him past his deadline, because I know that's probably coming up in your conversation as well. But just talking him as a player, this is quite a few significant lower leg injuries, and you compound that with the fact that, like you said, Sean, that he has kind of went on that athleticism and relied on it a lot. So for him to kind of be the player he needs to be, it is entirely dependent on his athleticism getting back to that stage. So it's been everything. The one encouraging thing you can say about Ivy quickly is that if you doubted the three-point shot, you don't need to doubt it now. It's streaky. It's always going to be streaky. I think he's established that. But there have been plenty of good streaky shooters in NBA history. That is one thing that you can take away positively. But the rest, the physical, the awareness, everything that Sean talked about, man, is like, yeah, it's just not where it needs to be. And I don't know if it's going to be able to get there when you're in a constant go mode of an NBA season and you don't have an extended break.
I think you're preaching there, man. And these are from Ivy supporters. These are from people who, like, through the years, like, literally were standing on the front line.
You can literally go back on this channel a couple years ago when Ivy got drafted and go, who the hell is that buffoon screaming at the table? That's me. That is me. I did that. So there's no hiding from it. But the reality of it is, like he said, the biggest concern coming in the league was his three-point shot. But if anything, that's become his only strong suit at this point. And to me, it's not about whether or not Ivy can make shots. It's whether or not Ivy can start taking some smart shots. A lot of his shots, I don't love his shot selection. He's not great at getting to the rim and creating separation. There's just a lot in his game right now that just causes a lot of concern, and you just want to see more development from someone who's in year 3.
Man, though, you preaching, man. You preaching, man. Thank you, Brody. Sean, you mind handing me that real quick before I share some more on Jaden Ivey? Shout out to the ground. I just got to see what the Pistons are doing that are down here. I know Isaac Jones got the 8 points right now. Bobby Clinton, 9 points for him. Shout out to Bobby Buckets, man. But Tolu Smith, 6 points. Chaz Lanier, 5 and 9 from behind the three-point arc for 19 points. He is a specialist. And I agree with Platty. I am a Chaz Lanier stan, dog. It's always nice when you're able to be down here for these games where those players are here, too. Because you're going to be able to see some really, really good basketball, man. So shout out to Motor City Cruise PR for keeping us stocked with all of the stats and the information on tonight's game as well. And I know for Michigan State people, Jaden Akins, he's a hooper, man. I've come to a couple of these games this season, and for the Pistons players, every time I come away with, like, yo, Jaden Akins, I forgot they got him here, man. Michigan State. So shout out to him. But got to go back to another Jaden Ivey. And as much as I don't want this to be a swish, good. You want to ask you a question? Reset it just for the people who.
I got you. It is okay at this point to be concerned with Jaden Ivey's level of play to this point in the season? Swish or brick?
And that's a big swish because there's a lot of people who believe. When you saw we got an Ivy last year, he sat out the year. He came back. You saw the improvements he made. without that speed, without that burst, without that athleticism that we heard from everybody, Jaden Ivey is just not the same player.
Right.
And I think that I wonder how much that's leading into the frustration. You talk about the shots that he's taking. I've gotten very frustrated with the shot selection as well as over dribbling. And I think that comes from not having that speed anymore to be able to just run around people. When he came into the league, we were saying it. NBA spacing is going to be a trampoline for him. And he was able to get to the rim at a much better angles and clip than he is right now.
Yeah.
And so it's tough because I don't believe that the story is written, is over for Jaden Ivey. I don't at all. But is that window in alignment with where the Pistons are right now?
The story might not be over, but this chapter is very well ending.
Ooh.
You know what? That's a
Sean, what?
barking.
Bar confirmed.
Listen,
Bar confirmed.
Some quick. All
God.
of these guys, dog, are quick with it.
It's like body blows when we talking about Jaden Ivey, bro. Because we all wanted him to succeed, bro. But it, like you said, I just don't know if the Pistons really have time to wait and see if he's going to develop into the player that you thought he was going to be. Like at this point, I want to thought that maybe he will reclaim being in the starting lineup. I don't think that's even in the conversation anymore. He is somebody before he came back from the injury. I brought up the fact that, maybe you do want to play him coming off the bench. Maybe he would make a better sixth man, but it sucks, bro, because you see it some nights. It's really just a mental thing. Like, I think that, over time he can get better over the course of a game, but it's all about the mental. You see it at times. He's timid going to the basket. He doesn't finish at the same rate in which he was finishing. You do like the fact that he's kind of improved his shooting, but with the type of game that he has, I don't know if he can just transition to being a shooter now. I think a lot of his game was predicated on the athleticism, like you said, and I just don't know if the Pistons are in a position to give him that time in order to kind of flesh that out.
Yeah, and let me tell you, some of his speed is still there, but the cutting, some of those, the ability to do the Euro steps and things of that nature, he was able to get downhill, to change the speed, the change of direction. Those things are where he's suffering the most right now, and he's supposed to. But like you pointed out as well, and like we ponder that, do the windows necessarily align? And I just don't think so. I think that chapter might be something where if you're the Pistons and you're looking to get somewhere this year, especially with as deep of a roster as you have, and you have some roster decisions to make, something has to happen. So it's going to be interesting to see how this thing plays itself out. Dante151 499 Super Chat says, is it me or does it feel like Ivy is being tentative right now with his play as of right now? Also, did you see that BS that is happening in NCAA basketball? We'll have to, that's a whole nother stream at night, man. And just to let y'all know, we got a game on our hands. The Rapids goal is making a comeback. 86-79 with 3 minutes left in the third quarter. So we'll see what happens when Chaz in there gets going again. But I do believe I don't know if the word is tentative for Jaden Ivey because I see him playing aggressive. It just doesn't seem like he has it. I saw him jump for a layup the other day, and he just left it on the backboard. It didn't even carry him off the backboard and hit the rim. And he just looked at his hand as if I've said this before, when Thor went to pick up his hammer and couldn't do it.
Well, it's just kind of clear at this point that he doesn't trust himself, and the coaching staff isn't trusting him either. I mean, he was every night 20 minutes no matter what. Hard stop, didn't matter if they were up, down, didn't matter the situation. Who was in, who was out. He was capped at 20, and he was always getting 20. Now you're seeing 15-minute games, 17-minute games. You're seeing these games where he's not even guaranteed the 20 anymore. Now he's getting a look every game, but if he gets outperformed, he's not closing that game or he's not getting that 20-minute cap. So I think it's clear that the coaching staff is now in a mode where he's not a penciled in 20 minutes anymore. And so you can see that they're losing trust in him, and he's losing trust in himself when he's out there. You can tell it by the way you just watch a player and you see him overthinking. And it's really unfortunate because he's best when he's at his free day. When he's free,
a little bit more because of the lack of speed,
Absolutely.
the lack of athleticism that he's used to, and I can totally get that. KJ, we're gonna get downtown Deuce in here, but any comments on this thing before we get him in here? We'll get you back in before we wrap up.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, as far as trade deadline, I think it just all depends on whatever deal that you're going to get. If you can get a deal in which, Jaden Ivey may have to go. You pair him with a Tobias. Maybe you explore something like that. It all depends on the type of return that you would get. But if they do choose to hang on to Jaden Ivey, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I am interested to see how the second half of the season would look with Jaden Ivey, being somebody that you're going to depend on coming off the bench. And let's just maybe see where the chips fall. But so far, I mean, I don't want to say Brandon Roy. I think that's a little extreme. But to our points, you can tell something just isn't right with Jaden Ivey. And you hope that, he can grow through that.
That's a bar, man. That's a bar. I see Jalen's in the building. About to get downtown Deuce in here as well. And you know what? I think it's appropriate to get Deuce in here at this time because I know he's been able to have some streams where he's talked to Javen Hunter, Jaden Ivey's dad, and been able to actually be some part of a sounding board when Jaden Ivey was going through some tough times during the Culture Shall Not Be Named era. So we're going to get Deuce in here in a little bit. Hey, KG, you tell Deuce to come up here, brother? Yeah. Shout out to Deuce, man. Look, the game got good. He was like, man, let me check this thing out.
I just want to here. Thank you. I just want to ask one question when it comes to the Ivy thing about trade. Is I'm not saying trade him. Explore the market, see what it is. I'm not mad. He's a restricted free agent. I doubt there's going to be a strong market for him in the offseason, so you could probably get him on a short, favorable contract. But the question is, if Ivy's not available, who is? And so that's kind of part of it too, right? Is you're not making Ron Holland or Asar or Stu available, but if you gotta look to make a move at the trade deadline, you gotta have something enticing to the table, and that's kind of where the rubber meets the road there for Jaden Ivey. So part of it is just the roster situation, like you guys talked about the timeline earlier, and not necessarily even entirely based on his performance.
Yeah, definitely, man. And you know what? We got downtown dudes here. I want to make sure I introduce him appropriately, man. One of the movers and shakers as well in this Pistons content world, and somebody I've known for a very long time, going back to high school hoops, man.
The deuce is loose.
Yeah, man. My first day at Summit Academy, man. I was in church clothes. He was in church clothes. And we was hooping in church shoes, and I don't remember losing much downtown dudes. I don't remember losing. You can hold it. Yeah. No, you can hold it, but man. Thank you for making the time to get out here. We wanted to be able to take the time to be able to say what up, though, to some of the people in this community. We're going to try and do this even more in the future, man. So if you guys want to be able to come out, whether you cover the teams, whether you're in content creation or whether you're a fan, come on out and say what up, though, to us here at these Motor City Cruise games. And when you see us out on the concourse, Deuce, hey, look, man, you're doing a lot right now. I know you've had some stuff with the crossover pod, Tim Hardaway and Lindsey Hunter, as well as your own platform, the Downtown Deuce. And you know what? You've had a unique perspective as it relates to Jaden and Ivy, and that's the topic right now. Before we get into more of what we want to see out of the second half Pistons,
yes, sir.
What it's been for the first half, but the consensus is that he's still healing. Not that he can't be what something, but he's still healing. And right now, that window might not necessarily align with the Pistons' endeavors. But I like the way you be thinking sometimes, man. And I got to come to you and ask you this. Jaden Ivey overall, what have you seen out of him, and what are you feeling for Jaden Ivey as we're approaching this trade deadline?
Well, to be honest, bro, what I like to do is go back to what our GM says, right? And what Trajan Langdon has said from jump is that this is an evaluation year, right? He wants time to be able to evaluate this young core, what they look like, right? He wants to give himself a runway to see what moves need to come afterward. So I think with that in mind, I think the fact that we're so far ahead of schedule, being in first place by a mile, 5.5 games, nobody saw us being here. I think if we're all being honest, we would say at this point we have maybe 25, 26 wins, right? At best at this point, right? So I think because we are where we are now and nobody's really even close in the East, we saw what happened with New York.
Yeah.
I think that has a lot of people excited, but we can't forget the mission, which is to still keep this as an evaluation season. And I think that's why Trajan Langdon is not going to make a splash right now, considering Jaden Ivey missed nearly a year of basketball. Like when Asar Thompson missed basketball, when he missed 8 months with his blood clot, we gave him a lot of time. We gave him some runway to get back to where he was. He was playing limited minutes, things like that. So it's like, okay, we gave him an opportunity to get his legs under him. And come playoff time, we saw the best version of Asar Thompson. So I think with that in mind, we should at least give Jaden Ivey, who isn't where I think any of us thought he'd be at this point, to be fair, right? But I think he deserves that same runway, having been out 2 months longer than Asar Thompson. Different issue, obviously. But I think that's a big part of why, especially because we're winning at the way we are, at the rate we're winning, it's fine to just see what this team has. You don't know how far this team can go, right? So in order to know what you need, you got to give yourself time to really just visualize and break down the data and go from there.
Hey, you know what I mean? You're preaching over there. And shout out to the people that are here right now. If you get an opportunity to go ahead and smash that like button and support these people, man. Y'all have seen Kuka Hill from Locked On Pistons, Sean Murphy from Half Court, Downtown Deuce here, man. These guys, they got some great platforms. You already know I run with my guys, KG and Platty here as well. Summer Weathers is in the building. I see my guy Jalen over there too. So shout out to them for making the time, for getting out here, and shout out to you guys for being too. Let's continue to grow this thing. We're going to definitely continue to grow. But what up, though, Sean Murphy?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, as we talk about like the future of a Jaden Ivey, I think one thing that's important to remember is you don't necessarily have to ship him right out the door unless you absolutely love what's coming back in return. And, you know, I think that's something that's important to remember is as we kind of talk about, like, you know, are we feeling less certain about his fit going forward? Absolutely. But in the same light, there's something to be said about allowing people to prove themselves in the postseason, to get to April and May, and to see what guys are really made of when the lights are turned brighter, when the pressure's really on, you know? So, you know, it's the Pistons are in a position where, you know, obviously, you know, like they have as good of a chance as anyone right now to make the finals in the Eastern Conference. But, you know, clearly, if they want to have a better chance of winning those games, it's kind of about getting those guys who can create some buckets for them. And we've seen Ivey certainly be able to do that in the past. So it's not a question of whether he can. We've seen it before. It's just whether he can before time runs out in Detroit.
Hey, you know what, man? You're preaching it. Let's start to put the focus on that second half. And obviously, anything of context as it relates to this first half that we've seen the Pistons do. 60 win pace for the Detroit Pistons, which seems insane. But when you look at how they're doing it, it's like, oh, I understand. That defense, that hustle mentality, and a bunch of guys who can go out there on any given night and knock down a three. They go out there on any given night and switch on the pick and rolls. They go out there on any night and they're diving on the floor. And that's what I love about this squad now. They got to make sure they go out there on these given nights to hit their free throws and cut down on those turnovers too. But the Motor City Cruise, they're up 94-86 as we're getting into the fourth quarter. And that boy Chaz Lanier, 19 points. He got a nice little bit of a rest. I suspect Chaz Lanier is going to go off in this fourth quarter, man, and put the goal to the Grand Rapids goal away. And I know my guy Sean is from the Grand Rapids area.
Yes, sir.
Recently, you know, now a member of this Metro Detroit area as well. So this is a little bit of a conflict for you tonight, man. The team, one of the teams that you first covered, Motor City Cruise.
I feel like a double agent right now, man. It's kind of weird. I mean, the Motor City Cruise and the Grand Rapids Gold, obviously. Before there was the Motor City Cruise, there was the Grand Rapids Drive. And so, you know, there's a long history of G League basketball in Grand Rapids, and the Pistons actually, you know, have a pretty big part of it. So, you know, obviously pretty ironic to be able to come here and cover this game between these two teams. But awesome. I mean, as much as it hurts someone from Grand Rapids to see the Drive leave and for the crew, you know, like as much as it hurt to see the Pistons leave, you recognize immediately when you're in this building, but also when you're in the Performance Center, exactly why the Crews had to be here.
That's a great point.
Like you recognize right away, because the Pistons Performance Center being the same place that the Crews practice, the fact that Trajan and JB can come out of their offices and work with guys in the G League team. I mean, there's no Danis Jenkins success story if he's playing in Grand Rapids. That's just not happening. So, you know, you underestimate all the different things of people overlook G League teams, but the reality of it is, if you want to talk about sustainable championship cultures in this current salary system we have, having a good G League team that you can supplement players with in your rotation is as important as ever.
Dog, man, people are preaching. This is why you put up the Avengers or the Justice League symbol, man. These guys are preaching. I'm seeing Jalen. He's running around with the camera tonight, so I'm going to get an interview with him. I know we got about maybe, what, you say 10, 15 maybe?
Yeah, I would say about 10, like 15, 20 minutes.
All right, then. You know what? We got to get into it as it relates to this second half of the season for the Detroit Pistons, man, the expectation is the
Are they like
expectation
that?
this team is for real, not just good. We know that they're good. Is this team for real? Are they like that? And I don't mean just best in the East. I mean, are they like that as it relates to being able to put up a formidable performance if they do make the finals? And I feel like sometimes I feel like sometimes we're getting ahead of ourselves because they haven't even won a playoff series yet. But we see what this team is doing in the expectation, and I do believe that means certain things have to change. You got to look at things a little bit differently. So, after you see this first half of Cade Cunningham being voted in as an all-star starter, the first since, and I had to thank you for reminding me, Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. Our first legitimate all-star starter since what, Grant Hill or the one, I think what Grant
Since
Hill.
they're going to work Pistons, yeah.
I
going to work.
Off the bench.
I think Chauncey and them got starts. Rip.
Rule number one about 2009 Allen Iverson. We don't talk about 2009 Allen Iverson.
But you know what, man?
Hey, there's a 2009 Allen Iverson trade rumor out there right now. They want us to get Kyrie Irving. Now, he's not that cooked, but that would be like one of those things. I got excited when we got Allen Iverson. I hated to see Chauncey go, but I got excited. I got excited when we got T-Mac. I got excited when we got Corey McGetty. There was, Pistons have a history of getting these players when it's a little too late. Selfishly, I would love Kyrie in a Pistons uniform. That's one of my favorite players to watch. But fit-wise, price-wise, I know it's not happening, whatever. But I saw that trade today, and it kind of brought me back to those 2009 Allen Iverson days.
Hey, you know what? Because I'm talking about because right now they haven't made a trade. Right now, the organization has told us simply this: we like our squad, and we want to see what these guys can do this year. And so we got to talk about them as if is this a team that's as serious as the organization says that they're waking up to right now? And I do believe that this is a team that is built to be able to compete very, very well in this Eastern Conference. And I do believe that the new expectation, at the very, very least for the Pistons, when you're talking about an actualized Cade Cunningham and a Jalen Duren, who I want to be able to get you guys' opinion on, is he an all-star this year? Is he an all-star reserve?
Yes.
We're going to talk about it, man. We're going to give everybody a chance to be able to say yes and then some. But when you got two all-stars, which they should have, and Jalen Duren, who's not just one of those all-stars, like he's not a Tyler Herro all-star. He's a real all-star. Yeah. He's a big boy all-star. Yeah. That's a lot different, man. And I do believe this team is stepping into some rarefied air as it relates to homegrown teams that have mega players.
So let me ask you this, Quid, and I want everybody's opinion on this because I think this is kind of the question I've been rattling. A couple years ago, the year OKC lost to Dallas, everybody was on the OKC bandwagon. This team is going to be a dynasty. They look great. Oh, wow, they're already here. They're already real. And I faded them because I'm like, historically in the NBA, you can look like a title contender. You can walk like a title contender. But if you're a young team, you kind of just need to take those lumps. And so I ask you, do you have that same kind of gut feeling about this Pistons right now? Because I don't think any of us are sitting here and saying that the basketball we've watched isn't title contending basketball. However, historically, the NBA, it's a slow mountain climb. It's not like the NFL where you win in your rookie contract, and then maybe your third contract you're back at the dance. Like it's not as ever flowing as that. It's a kind of steady, consistent climb. So do you guys feel like this team is still, despite looking like a championship contender, a year away just because historically that's how it's gone? Or do you think the Pistons are one of those teams that can buck that trend?
I think normally you talk in years past about the history of the league, and I think for the majority of teams you're right, where you question the maturity, you question if they're ready to take that next step. But I think where this team is a little different is a guy like a Cade who is so mature beyond his years as far as the way. I mean, that guy's been 30 since he was 13, dude. Like
he's the ceiling raiser.
Yeah, like there are so many stable forces from top to bottom as far as you just talk about like the people, and you hear about the camaraderie of this team, and a lot of times that just sounds like hearsay, but it's like that's no joke when you talk about this Pistons team. Like they are tight knit as it can get. So I think they have a lot of the things that I think prevent a team from having that lapse. But to me, if you're talking about my biggest like as far as like hesitation as to what will get this team over the top, not to go by the name of my podcast, but it's how they play from half court, man. It's how they play in the half court offense. It's true though. Like this team is 19th in the NBA in the half court offense right now, and so they're not a good half court team in the offensively. And so when you talk about when the game slows down, if they're not forcing turnovers, there's going to be some real pressure on Cade and Duren to get some buckets. And that's why you talk about should they go and make a move, because you got to be able to score in the half court and the fast break. Like, you got to be able to adapt to whatever comes.
And honestly, I think that's why Tobias Harris has been so important for this team, because when you look at how this team wants to play as far as getting stops and getting out in transition, that's what they do. That's their bread and butter. But there are times, like you guys mentioned, in the playoffs, when the game slows down, when the other team isn't they're not careless with the basketball. They're taking care of it. They're making you take the ball out the rim. In those situations, when you go to the half-court offense, which is where Tobias Harris is best, you need somebody you can dump the ball down to and go get a bucket. Or you need to be able to run your offense in the proper way. So I think having a guy like Tobias Harris is actually important for that reason. Yeah. He's not a great transition player. We know that. He's in his mid-30s at this point, and that's why I have concerns about him as a starter. But once again, when you get to the playoffs, and the game slows down, you got to have somebody you can just dump the ball out to and get you a bucket and have fun.
I do believe it's a team that's built for the playoffs. I do. I think their level of defense, their level of hustle, their level of play in the paint, and their ability to defend, not just the offense that they're showing. I think that they're built for that. So when people's legs are more dead, when the shots from outside aren't necessarily falling, we're seeing this team this year be able to win those games. Last year, they weren't able to. If Malik Beasley wasn't blazing, it was tough work, man. Now we see this Pistons team being able to go out there and win in a variety of ways because of how tough that defense is and the fact that they don't give up on the hustle. You know, they go out every single play and they give 110%. Now, that don't make shots go in, but that can get you a second chance rebound. That can turn defense and offense really quickly. So it's like, we're waiting for guys like Nassar and Ron to pull up their outside shooting. But I love what these guys are doing defensively. I love what these guys are doing at turning defense to offense real quick, to the point that the Pistons are one of those top teams as it relates to transition offense, one of those top teams as it relates to defense. And that, to me, is part of, in addition to your star power, why this team is going to, make good on the expectations.
I think that's a great point, bro. I think the depth, too, needs to get more attention, bro. When we had our 13-game win streak, we were missing so many guys throughout that win streak. So many guys were getting shifted in and out. Guys like Dennis Jenkins, Paul Reed, Javonte Green, just getting plug and play into the lineup, and we just kept winning. So I think that's going to be something that we look at, too, as far as how far this team can go, is because we have veterans as well to really just compliment the stars.
Yeah, and real quick before I pass it to Sean here, another good omen is every time the Pistons have tied or set the franchise record win streak, they've won a championship. So just saying.
Can I just say real quick how much of a surprise Javonte Green has been this season?
Amazing signing.
That's what we're talking about, them savvy trades.
Yep. Yeah. He's someone like when you talk about Javonte Green, when they signed him, I remember texting people going, I don't even think he cracks the rotation, let alone, I'm just being honest. Like, this isn't like no disrespect.
Trade deadline flip.
Yeah. It's like a low salary, like low risk type of signing. Whereas
training camp body.
Yeah. Whereas
if we see him things went bad type of thing. Yeah. Like you're not putting that expectation on him,
Yeah, exactly. You're going to keep me active tonight, man. Y'all get me with the mic. But no, I mean, it's like when you talk about like just his defensive intensity, the things that come in, and my God, it feels like Ron Holland looks like Javonte Green, and it's like Ghost of Christmas Future. It's like, oh, this is me like 10 years from now. So yeah, man, just a lot to like from 1 to 15 on this roster all the way down. A lot of even the depth pieces have been really impressive.
Yeah, a lot to like, man. You know what? We've been talking for a while. We're gonna have to run this back again, because I know we're getting down to the end of the game, and I did tell them we would have things wrapped up before the game ended. Hey, shout out to my guy Mario. He is with the strength and conditioning and such physical training with the Pistons. Shout out my And he's over here with the crews as well, man. So shout out to my guy Mario. Known that dude since he was our families go back generations. What to say that? Like
That's
way,
dope,
way,
man.
way back. Yeah, me, Summer, Mario, my sister, way back, man. So yeah, it's dope. But we're gonna get this thing wrapped up real quick. Got probably about another 5 minutes. So we're gonna start to wind this thing down. I'm glad we were able to do this and be able to talk to people like Downtown Deuce, Sean Murphy. You already know, getting with old Woo crew of KG and Summer and others. Shout out to Broder and Flannel and everybody else, Justin, everybody else associated with it, man. JB, I'm missing people, I know that, but this guy right here, Platty, who this season is taking on some different changes, new looks. But I'm just as grateful, man. I've been able to cover the Pistons through 5 years with amazing people almost every single season, including this guy right here, Downtown Deuce, on the early goings, including this guy, Sean, including this guy right here, Chris Platty, and others, man. So it's been an amazing time, and I do believe the Pistons are going to be formidable in this second half.
Hey, shout out to Kool-Aid, bro.
Yeah,
Like
of course.
everybody, he's always showing love to everybody else, right? He's one of the most humble dudes I've met, man. Going back 20 years, bro. I want to shout you out too and give you your flowers too, bro. We go way back, bro. We used to go at it, but I'm gonna give you some love too, bro, because you always give everybody else love. So you need to give yourself some love as well, bro.
Appreciate you, man. That's something that I know about these three guys in KG. They look out for stuff like that, man. It feels awkward, but I think Pistons now finally giving us something to just put our heads down and focus on. It's awesome time. I think it's time for us to be able to, as a community, do this a whole lot more, man. So we're gonna continue to try and do this as much as possible. Hey, KG. He's locked in, dog. Hey, get Summer too, man, so we can say bye to the people.
Locked in.
I said, no, get Summer too, so we can say bye to the people, man. We about to sign off soon, but yeah, man, I appreciate these guys, man.
He was
I
locked
appreciate your words, brother. I do. KG, man, say bye-bye to the people, brother.
Hey, y'all know what it is. Pistons championship incoming. What's good? But appreciate you. Shout out to Kool-Aid. Got to meet my boy Deuce, man. Good to meet you, bro. Shout out Sean Murphy, dog, and my boy Chris. Y'all be putting in work. I love the Pistons post-game shows. Y'all got some of the best in-depth coverage in the city, flat out.
Hey,
these are my guys right here.
Take the seat right here, man. Hey, shout out to Summer Weather. We're gonna let her take the seat so she can have her sign off.
Man, I just want to say Detroit versus everybody. We going to the
Y'all already know
championship.
the sign off.
We going to the championship.
She said to the championship.
That's my sign off. But thank you so much, Kool-Aid, for asking me to come, though.
Hey,
Truly
no,
means a
thank
lot,
you,
and I'm happy that I, came and talked to all of y'all. It was good seeing everybody.
Hey, every time we've asked for you to come out, as well as some of the content we've collabed on, like the JMO interviews and such, you were all team for it, man. So shout out to you. I'm glad we were able to do this. I'm glad that people showed up because these are people who are respecting this community, not just as professionals, but as people as well, man. So shout out to Sean Murphy, who I got to give you a big star tonight, man. He came through big time tonight, man, with the equipment and everything for a long time. This was the guy that I was like first events, all the events that I would do. Sean Murphy was the one that would actually set up the production of those streams. And now we're actually on the concourse, and we hope to take this even further. The Pistons going to be in the playoffs. So the hope right now, man, is that we can do this over there. So
absolutely,
let's rock, man. We're going to continue to do this. We're going to continue to push. We're going to continue to build this community. So y'all show up when you guys can, man. I'm for real. All right, who else has to sign off?
Oh, I got one more thing. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to y'all.
Y'all know the drill, man. Detroit
Amen,
versus
man.
everybody.
We can't do this without you. We can't do this without you. Amen. Shout out to the chat. Sorry, my bad. I didn't hear you. Go ahead.
Start making some plans for June.
I like that one.
I like that. Sound was looking all gritty, too.
I'm already, Kool-Aid talked about it. I'm already daydreaming of that doubleheader Wings Pistons. Wings start at noon.
Yeah.
I'm hammered. By the time Pistons tip off, I'm ready for that. That's my element. That's what I'm going for.
In the words of JD, stay over there if you weren't already here.
I like it.
Detroit versus everybody, man.
All right, well, you know what? Sean, everybody got their sign off? Yep. All right, man, let me get in here, and we'll definitely get this thing shut down before it shuts itself down for us, man. But thank you guys for being here. Smash that like button before you go. We're going to continue to try and make sure we do these types of streams and bring your Pistons community content creators to you guys, man. So share it, hit that like, follow these people, man, when you see them on socials, man. Shout out to the Detroit Pistons and the Motor City Cruise. A big thank you to China Jude. She is the president of business operations for the Motor City Cruise here, for giving us her time in the beginning of this. Shout out to Woodward Sports, man, for the platform and being able to let us go live and have this type of camaraderie with you guys, man. Like I said, I'm looking to take this bigger and bigger and bigger. Smash that like button. Y'all stay warm out there. Go Pistons. I think I got to continue to stretch. Pistons to the finals, baby. Let's rock. Let's rock.